Hi guys, welcome to the African Diaspora News channel. My name is Clarisse Ndinge and today I bring you guys another fresh news story from the continent of Africa. This one is from my home country, Cameroon. So there's rumors and there's speculations that President Paul Biya is training or he's preparing his son, 51 years old Frank Biya, to take over him as the president of the country. Now, Cameroon is not a monarchy, of course. It's not a kingdom. It's a democratic state. So this rumor is disturbing because it does not align with the political values that the country holds. But of course, like we say, impossible n'est pas Camerounais, meaning anything can happen in Cameroon, like Cameroonians can do anything. So I'm sure by now you guys know that President Paul Biya has been president of the country for 40 years and his latest mandate is due to expire in 2025. So right up to 2025, he's still going to be president of the country, but after then, we do not know if he's going to renew his mandate or if he's going to, give up and let another person take over from him. So he has not done any, he basically has never given off any information in that regard. Whenever I asked, he's always like, wait for 2025 to reach and then you will know what I'm going to do, if I'm going to, resign, if I'm going to retire or, whatever. So the reason why these speculations or these rumors are coming up recently is because there are certain moves that his son has been making. His son Frank Biya has never ever held any position of administration in the country. He has never been in any position of authority. He has never been a minister. He has never been a governor. He doesn't have any political party. He has, basically never been in the political scene officially, but he's always present with his father in public events, in political events. He's always there, showing support or whatever. He's always around. So recently, since last year, he has been making some moves that are giving off the idea that he might be in the run for the presidency. First of all, there's a group of people that created a political party. They call themselves les Franquistes, so like Frank Biya's disciples basically. So they call themselves Frankists, and they say that their movement is that they want Frank Biya to contest for the presidential elections in 2025. So they have actually registered this movement as a political party, and they are operating as a political party because they are holding meetings, they're holding general assemblies, and they're recruiting people into the movement. Now, if these people were doing this, and then of course Frank Biya has not said anything about them. He basically has not come out to make any statement for or against them, but we have heard news reports of him saying that he has no affiliation with this group whatsoever. But knowing the country, the way the country is and the way we operate in Cameroon, if this group of people were actually operating illegally, using Frank Biya's name to operate illegally, then by now the Ministry of Territorial Administration would have suspended the movement. Several political parties have been suspended in Cameroon for similar reasons, where people have been maybe impersonating a group of people or just operating with norms that do not tie with the constitution of the country. But this, surprisingly, nobody has suspended this group. They are still operating, so it's weird, and that has people raising eyebrows as to the suspicion of the fact that perhaps, this is something that Frank Biya is maybe condoning, and he doesn't just want to come out to say it. Another reason why people are speculating is because in the last few months, Frank Biya has been visiting traditional rulers in like the most populated areas in Cameroon. He first of all visited the traditional ruler in the West region. He visited a sultan in the West region, had a private meeting, and nobody, the details of that meeting were not discussed publicly. And then recently, he was in the North region during the celebration of President Paul Biya's 40 years in power. He visited the Lamido in the Far North region. The Far North regions of Cameroon is like the most populated area of the country. He visited the traditional rulers there, and that was where he celebrated his father's 40 years in power. And he had conversations with the Lamidos in those areas. And of course, it was not disclosed publicly why he was there. So all of these, actions are leading people to believe that maybe maybe his father is grooming him for the role of president when he leaves the power, when he leaves his seat. Another reason why people are speculating is because when Emmanuel Macron, the French president, recently visited Cameroon, President Paul Biya introduced Frank Biya to Emmanuel Macron. So, a lot of Cameroonians were like, okay, he's introducing his son to this president as what, is he like Emmanuel Macron? This is my son, Emmanuel Macron. There were a lot of questions that were raised. Frank Biya is not the only child that President Paul Biya has. President Paul Biya has Frank Biya, who is his first son. He adopted 2 children from his wife, Chantal Biya, that she had from a previous relationship, twins, that he's a father to right now, Patrick Heads and Frank Heads. And then he has 2 other children, Junior Paul Biya and Brenda Biya, whom he had with his wife Chantal Biya, his current wife. Frank Biya, he had Frank Biya with his previous wife, who is of late right now. So all of these activities are leaving people, creating a lot of suspicion as to what may be going on in the background. So it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out eventually. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and you'll see me next time for another fresh news story from this part of the world.